All right, Shalom, Makim. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elected teach word and all true faith and sincerity. And yeah, today I just want to do a slight commentary on this video. And as you can read, it says you will be legally forced a vaccine. So this pretty much lets you know the desperation of the devil, man. This man is actually going to put it in paper for you to get down take a damn vaccine, man. Which is ultimately leading up to the chip, man. You know, but this is that gradualism this devil is saying, but he's pretty much ramping it up now, man. Cause he knows that he had but a short time. And as you can read the video within the video, it says states have authority to fine or jail people who refuse coronavirus vaccine, attorney says. See? And it says legal proceeding dates back to 1905. And that's pretty much, this man, all these laws and legislations and these terrorist attacks and false flags and presidents they've been running through, it all leads up to this time now, man. Matter of fact, let's get some real quick. Psalms the 64th chapter. Psalm 64. Salakia. Psalms chapter 64 and 1. It says, hear my voice, O Most High, my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. And who's the enemy? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. That's the enemy, man. It said, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. See, the secret counsel of the wicked ultimately start off with these bankers, man. That's the secret counsel of the wicked. Those are the ones that's really pulling the strings. Tell you that their tongue walking throughout the earth. But where's the source? Your tongue, your mouth is where your head at. And who's the head of these Edomites? These bankers, man, the elites, man, those Amalekites. So those are the ones that's putting the strings behind the scenes, that laying these snares and traps before the people, man. It says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. See? And these devils, they conjure up iniquity, man. As you can see, they had those think tanks and different councils that say, okay, what's the next step? They saying, okay, now let's just put it in paper to get a vaccine. This is not, and that's why in the English vocabulary, one of the popular words now in today's news is mandatory, man. That's this devil, man. It says, verse 3, who with their tongue like a sword, see, with their tongue going into your laws, it said like a sword, meaning what? Each time something happened, like I said, like such as 9/11, their tongue was being whetted like a sword, because now after 9/11, you had the Patriot Act, which they got all right to kick in your door, man. So-called domestic terror. See, all this is finna come into play now. So they ain't had them presidents sign them laws and legislation for that. They ain't had these false flags happen for that. They created a boogeyman, and all that was being played up for this time, because ultimately they really waging war on Israel. This is the time where they finna wage war. Well, they been waging war, but now it's finna be made manifest, man. It said, who with their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words. See, that lets you know it's talking about them laws. Those are bitter words. It said that they may shoot in secret at the perfect. See? Because at the end of the day, when they're talking about the coronavirus, who's the face of coronavirus? You Negro, Latino, and natives, so-called Negro, Latinos, and natives, man. They have us set as the face of the coronavirus. Like they had the face of terrorism, such as Osama, you know what I mean? That was the face of terrorism, but now the next one is the face of the coronavirus was the Negro, Latinos, and natives, man. So they shoot secret at the perfect. It says, suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not. See? Meaning what? They feel like, they're going to test that theory. Psalms 105 said, touch not mine anointing, do my prophets no harm. See, they're going to actually test that out, man. It tell you also in William in the second chapter, it says, let us see if his words be true, man. So this man is actually going to try to test, this is going to test you out by Shema Shai, man. So they're gonna roll and they're not gonna fear, but guess what? They're gonna learn the hard way. So let's go to this video, and it's gonna show you that this so-called white man is a damn devil, man.
As we race to develop a coronavirus vaccine, some major questions are emerging. Good evening. I'm Kimberly Hunt.
And I'm Steve Atkinson. A lot of people are wondering if the government could force people to get it. Or could people who refuse get banned from stores or lose their jobs?
ABC. See? And that's what it's going to come down to, man. See, because ultimately it's going to end up leading to that chip, which that chip, it tells you. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Says you're going to be banned from stores and you get fired from your job, man. Because it's going to the vaccine, but it started out with the mask, then the vaccine, and it end up going to the chip, man. So this Revelation 13, and let's just get to the point, verse 16, and he calls of all, and that word calls goes into a decree. See, this is going to be written in paper, man. And he calls all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. See? It said, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And it said buy or sell, because that's going to affect all businesses. See, we're in the land of traffic, America. It's all about buying and selling here. Even dealing with your job. That's a business. So you ain't going to be able to work or do anything or be able to be in this society, or be on the grid if you don't got that chip, man. And that's what it's ultimately leading to. The vaccine is like the step before it, man. So it said you might be banned from stores or lose your job if you don't got that vaccine. How much more when this chip come, man?
C10 News anchor Derek Stahl spoke with a legal expert to get some answers.
Imagine a world where you have to get vaccinated and show proof to go shopping, board a plane, or just go to work. Legally, it could happen, says University.
And that's this serpent. Why would you say it could happen? Why you teetering on the fence, man? Just be straight up. This nigga beating around the bush. You ask him a yes or no question, he'll go around the world just to tell you yes or no, man. Something legally it could happen, but the scripture said is gonna happen. This man is gonna, matter of fact, because he said legally, and that's what this man he trusts. That's why I tell you that back in Wisdom Solomon 2nd chapter. Because when you read Wisdom Solomon 2, that whole chapter it sums up all the meanings of these devils. Every secret counsel that they have, every meaning that they have. Guess what? You can go to Wisdom Solomon 2nd chapter, and that's gonna sum everything up, man. But he said legally. And that means what? This devil's gonna actually this is gonna put it in paper, man. So this is Psalms 12 and 3. It said the Lord shall cut off all flattering lips and the tongue that speaketh proud things. See? And that's what this devil through his laws, he's actually speaking proud through his laws, man. Why? Because he read Isaiah the 29th chapter to tell you that he said that framer had no understanding. So this man, and that was talking about the law. So he ended up framing a whole nother law, man. That back in Wisdom Solomon 2nd chapter, it says, let our strength be the law of justice. Talking about their laws, man. It says, who have said, with our tongue we will prevail. Our lips are our own, who is Lord over us. See? So meaning what? Once they put it in paper, make that a decree ultimately with that chip, because the vaccine is the step before the chip, man. You get the vaccine, you pretty much you gonna die, regardless, man. Because this is the devil. He's not trying to help you, man. He's not trying to help you, man. Out of all this time, all these years, this hundreds of years, this man been beating our ass. But when this so-called pandemic comes, he want to help the Negro, Latinos, and natives first, man. Get out of here, man. But I bet you $1,000 you can't find a bag of Funyuns in goddamn Whole Foods. You're gonna find them Fagos in your hood. You got a church chicken in your hood, but when you cross them tracks, you ain't gonna find nothing like that where the eater might stay at, man. So this man trying to kill you on all levels, man. But let's go back to the scripture. It said, but he who have said with our tongue we will prevail, our lips are our own, who is Lord over us. So when they make it a decree, they put it in law, they think they gonna win, man. You know, that's why I say when he's about to feel his belly, then that's when the Lord's gonna rain down upon him, man. See, when this man implement this chip, and then he's gonna roll, the Lord's gonna spring into action, man. You know, and that's the pride of these devils, man. That say who is Lord of us. So when they put it, they make it a decree. They believe it's gonna stand, but it's not gonna stand, man. But you see this devil talking something that is it could be legal. And no, man, just be real, man. Say it is, man. Cause that's
San
what you
Diego
lean
law professor
towards.
Dov Fox.
States can compel vaccinations in more or less intrusive ways. They can limit access to schools or services or jobs if people don't get vaccinated. It could force them to pay a fine or even lock them up in jail. Those measures have been adopted in other countries like France, but not so far in the United States.
It all dates back to a Supreme Court case in 1905. The court held that Massachusetts could fine people for not getting vaccinated against smallpox. That case became the basis of vaccine requirements at schools across the country.
Courts have found that when medical necessity requires it, the public health outweighs the individual rights and liberties at stake.
Just last year, New York City passed an ordinance fining people for not getting a measles vaccination.
See, that ordinance, that's the decree. And guess what? That's this snake, man. He's slithering closer and closer till he get in that striking range. You know, when he prick you with that needle and that chip, man. He's getting closer and closer, man. He said that ordinance, that decree, and that's what it's all coming down to, man. And there's gonna be a lot of Jake that's gonna attract up this devil. They're gonna use that Romans the 13th chapter, man. You know, to justify taking that damn chip, man. You know, they're gonna try to justify and taking that damn chip. But what if it was a decree to be a damn faggot, man? Would you follow that order? You know, and that's why the mark of the beast is the most controversial prophecy, because that's the one you can't get wrong, man. Like Esau, you like, okay, Esau the devil. You might not think the so-called white man is the devil, but you gonna find out when he come kicking your door. You know what I mean, and all that. You gonna find out. But if you got that chip, you gonna find out. You gonna find out the hard way about when that hell come upon you, man. You know. That's the one prophecy that you can't get wrong, because you can say, okay, I thought so-called white man was Jaffa. Now I know he Esau. But when it come down to that chip, you got that chip, man. That's your ass, man.
But there's a
You
big
know.
difference between what states have the power to do and what Congress could do.
There are these questions, separation of powers, Commerce Clause question.
Professor Fox says a federal vaccine requirement would probably get shot down by the current Supreme Court based on a 2012 ruling on the Affordable Care Act. That means we could have a patchwork of different vaccination requirements in different states. Professor Fox says states would need to allow exemptions for people with legitimate medical risks like pregnancy, but not exemptions for other reasons.
Religious exemptions, philosophical ones, have largely
See, so now is
overridden in the name
matter
of
of
public
fact,
health.
continue y'all.
However, professors, for other reasons.
Let me rewind that,
Religious
Salaki.
exemptions, philosophical ones, have largely been overridden in the name of public health.
However, Professor.
See, so they come in the name of public health. Now all of a sudden you got chemtrails, Funyuns, Fagos, Burger King, and goddamn McDonald's everywhere. But you come in the name of public health when it come down to these goddamn vaccines, man. They let you know the so-called white man's the devil, man. Cause he's saying he put on the facade like he's for you, man. And like you said, you gotta have a so-called legitimate health problem to not to take this vaccine. But they say it totally exempts religious views and philosophical views, man. No, meaning what? Don't care what you believe. You're gonna take this, man. You know, and he's doing it in the name of public health. But you ain't, man. Matter of fact, let's get it. This is I started at 5. This is Ecclesiastes 14, Sirach 14:5. It said, "He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?" See, now you all of a sudden you worry about health, and you so fascinated with living now. Out of all this depth that you've been pushing on all levels, now you so fascinated with health, you wanna keep everybody healthy. And going back to physical coronavirus, the Negro, Latino, and natives, so-called Negro, Latino, and natives, the Israelites, they're gonna be able to get the have the honor to fucking the first ones to get the vaccine, man. But he's evil to himself. Starting these Amalekites, they the head of the Edomites. But do you see the other Edomites? You got Joe Sixpacks, man. You know, 2-time losers, man. They ain't even really enjoying their kingdom, man. That's why with Amalek, he gonna get his ass whooped the worst. That's gonna be he's gonna get the worst ass whipping out of all the Edomites. Even other Edomites gonna beat their ass, man. Why? Because they haven't broke them off, man. They ain't doing good to their people. How much you gonna think they gonna do good to you, man? And we arch enemies, man. You know, it said, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself, and this is the recompense of evil, and this is the recompense of his wickedness. And if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. And yeah, it can appear good. That's why I say he had the two horns like a lamb. He can sing harmless, and he can present himself as helpful, you know, but it's not good, man. And it's not willingly. He doing it for your benefit. It's not because of that, man. No, he's trying to throw you into that pit. He's trying to kill you, man. It said if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he would declare his wickedness. See, meaning what? You gonna see the horns on this man at the end of the day. Now I said you might think that so-called white man Jeff, you gonna learn. You'll know. Okay, that's Esau right there. But when it come down to this chip, man, that's something you gotta get right. You gotta be 1 for 1 on that one, man. You know. But this man, he's the damn devil. You know. He's the devil, man, and he knows that he got a short time. That's why I said it's not gonna be because of your religious views. No, this is gonna be because of the coming in the state of health, man. The public health. But you spraying chemtrails everywhere. You still selling cigarettes. You know, cars and mufflers and you know what I mean. But you ain't coming in the name of health, man. This is just Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Warn to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. See, he know that, man. And that's why he's ramping things up. You know, it was just not getting to the point where mask is mandatory. Now we come to the point where the vaccine is mandatory. How much faster when it comes down to that chip is mandatory, man. And that's what we coming into, man. And guess what? This is not finna go smooth for the so-called white man. This is not finna go smooth with him. Everything is finna backfire on this man. You know, he's finna fall into that same pit he dug. So let's go back to that video, matter of fact.
Protests over face coverings show there's a big risk of a backlash here, and just because
and overridden in the name of public
Hold on,
health.
let me rewind
However,
that.
Professor Fox says recent protests over face coverings show there's a big risk of a backlash here, and just because states have
See, so you got people bugging up against the face mask. How much more when this vaccine come? How much more when that chip come, man? You know, let's get this real quick. 2 Ezra 15, and I'm start at verse 14. Said, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein," and that's talking about this word ones that's acclimated in this society, man. That's under the shroud, under the shadow of Esau, man. That's where the discretion is gonna come to. Cause guess what? These people, they probably mad they got to put the mask. They just want to go. They just want to go to Buffalo Wild Wings without the mask on, man. They still want to be here, but they just don't want to wear the mask. They still want to deal with this wickedness. You know, goddamn giving faggots liberty. You know, they alright with that. They just don't want to have the mask on, man. That's why these people these Americans, these Babylons, they gonna go, man. They gotta go, man. You know? He said, for the sword and the destruction draw nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. And yeah, and that's why, especially like down here in this Bible Belt area, you know, you got certain Edomites and you got Jays that look like Edomites they're totally against the government, man. You got these different militia groups, these boogaloo boys, and that's why it's going to be a major war on the shores of America. On all, it's gonna be war on all levels, civil war, race war, class war, food wars. You know, this is what's coming to this place, man. Utter chaos. You know, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." See, so guess what? They're not gonna. They said they're not regarded kings or their princes. Meaning, what these governors, these mayors, these different laws, legislation that they pass, they're not gonna reverence that, man. They're not gonna acknowledge those laws, man. As you can see, it said dealing with the mass they bugging up against it. How much more when you say you gotta take this vaccine if you gotta go back to work? See, it's finna get hell, and it's not finna go smooth for this devil, man. The way I tell you that he's not feeling quiet in his belly, man. See, he was able to manage the clock, so to speak, when he was able to run circles around the people. But the Lord threw that monkey wrench in his plan by the way of the prophets. That's why he got a short time. Now this man he's actually leaping before he looked, man. Esau's in a quagmire, man. You know, this is not going smooth for the so-called white man. He didn't want this to happen. He just want everything to go smooth. Like I said, he was able to run the ball. You deal with football. You managing the clock. But now since the prophet's out, he's out of his element. He throwing Hail Marys and shit. He ain't used to that. So what he's gonna revert to? The sword. At the end of the day, that's what it's finna come down to, the sword, man. And that's why you got the vaccine police, which that just translates to the military, man. Which that what this nigga Trump said. He's gonna dish out this vaccine in a powerful manner. How he's gonna do it? By the way of the military. The teeth, man. You know?
Been overridden in the name of public health.
However, Professor Fox says recent protests over face coverings show there's a big risk of a backlash here. And just because states have the power to require vaccinations doesn't mean it's the best public policy. Derek Stahl, ABC 10 News.
And legal experts say that private businesses would have the authority to fire workers who don't want to get vaccinated for personal or religious reasons. Companies would just need to show that there are significant.
So hey, that's pretty much it. I mean, this whole video, alright, but that's pretty much lets you know that the devil is clamping down. But guess what, man? It's not gonna work, man. It's not gonna work, man. You know, he's gonna clamp down, but guess what, man? It's not gonna work. His plan is gonna fail ultimately, man. Even though you put these things in paper, you done built all this, all these years trying to put everything in play, and guess what? It's not gonna work, man. So I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna end it off with this. This Job chapter 8, and I started 11. It said, "Can the rush grow up without mire? Can the flag grow without water?" See, and that's what's going on with the so-called white man. See, the Lord ended up cutting the power away from this man. That's why I tell you that wisdom is perishing timidity. See, that's the first sign of losing a kingdom. That's the ingredient to having a kingdom is wisdom. And this man wisdom is being taken away from him. That's why I said it's not going to be a good idea to make this a public law. They already getting pissed about the mask. What you think they're going to do about the vaccine? And that's why this man is going to use the military to do it. You know? But the Lord is cutting the water. The Lord is not watering this man no more. He's not flourishing as he was before, man. It said, while it's yet in its greenness and not cut down, it withereth before any herb. See? So are the paths of all that forget the Most High, and the hypocrite's hope shall perish. See? Meaning what? What is his hope to crown his enterprise of success, man? It's gonna perish, man. All this time that this man have built all these presidents, these laws and legislation, these false flags attacks, these wars they have fought, these resources they have stolen, guess what? All that's gonna perish, man. Everything they worked hard for is gonna come to naught, man. It says, whose hope shall be cut off, and whose trust shall be as a spider's web. Meaning what? They're gonna get entangled into their own ideals, man. Into their own snares and traps. They're gonna get entangled into it, man. It says, because really this man is really showing dice now. It was one point this man, he was in control. He was so called in control of what he was doing. But now it tells that he's not gonna know when that evil come from. Meaning what? He's not gonna be in it. He's not every, like, just say he make a, see, this devil can create a chaotic event and is well controlled. Look at 9/11. How them buildings fell. That was a controlled destruction right there. But what's finna come abroad, this man ain't gonna have no power over it, man. You know, it says, he shall lean upon his house, but it shall not stand. He shall hold it fast, but it shall not endure. See? Meaning what? Everything he work hard for, he's going to try to lean on it and depend on everything that he built. But guess what? It's not going to hold, man. Once he feel like that's why I say when he's about to fill his belly, that's when the Lord's going to rain down upon him, man, that fire, man. you know. So this devil, man, no matter what he do, he's still gonna fail. Why? Because the scriptures is already written. We already know. It said he said he was already casted out. He's already fallen. All that already happened. We just now we watching it in first person now, man. That's it. So the so-called white man's a devil and he's going down, and it's gonna be a great fall. It's gonna be, man. So yeah, I just hold the edify and give all praise and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua, by Hashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the Positiv's great millstone. Shalom to the elect that sees word, not true for your sincerity. DTA, abide, abide.